You're allowed to vote tonight because you're an alternate and one of the people from your town is not. And that's it. And Rebecca Hill, you are not welcome to vote on meetings from last meeting, but you are ready to vote for everything else. Okay, thank you. All right. Excuse me. Okay. We like to open our meetings with public discussion, and usually that is a 15-minute period. Our general statement for public comment is, board meetings are conducted for the purpose of carrying out the official business of the school system. The first 15 minutes of each board meeting is designated for public participation. During this time, members of the public may express opinions and concerns related to matters regarding education or MSAD 72 schools. No complaints or allegations will be allowed at board meetings concerning any person employed by the school system or against particular students, as these matters must be addressed using established policies and procedures. Since time is limited, the board requests that groups or organizations be represented by individual spokespersons. Do we have anyone who would like to speak this evening?
My mic doesn't work. Can we make I don't know if it's a motion, but to extend the speaking time for the public as we did at the previous board meeting. I think was it by 5 minutes previously? Yeah, by 5 minutes. And also, I don't know if it's just a suggestion, but people who spoke at the last meeting, maybe wait for anybody who did not speak to speak before speaking again. Maybe not. Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we extend it by 5 minutes, and that if you spoke at the last meeting, that you will wait for new people to speak at this meeting.
Any discussion?
I don't have anything nefarious really to do this.
I don't feel like we should be limiting people who were speaking last time to not be able to speak or waiting until the end to speak.
Yeah, one has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. I mean, I don't mind extending 5 minutes, but I don't think anybody should be prevented from speaking for any reason.
I didn't say prevented, I just said first.
Well, I don't agree with that.
So we need to vote. We need to recess.
I make a motion to extend the meeting by 5 minutes.
Second.
Because we have a motion in place. Unless you raise them. So, any more discussion on Eli's motion? Seeing none, all in favor of extending the meeting by 5 minutes and limiting it to first people who have not spoken at the meeting last time? All in favor? Against? Abstentions? Okay, that motion fails. Mary, did you want to make a different motion?
Make a motion to extend the meeting by 5 minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Any against? And abstentions? Motion passes. We will extend public comment time by 5 minutes. Do I have, since it looks like we have a lot of people tonight, do we have a timer that I can, someone would volunteer to make sure we I'm requesting a timer from our board committee to make sure that our speakers stay within the 3-minute bound, please. And Savannah volunteered. Thank you, Savannah. And I'd welcome our first speakers to the microphone.
Good evening. Is that on? Okay,
Yes.
so,
Please state
my
your
name
name
is
and
Juana
town.
Marsh, I live in Denmark, and probably everybody in the room knows this is Teacher Appreciation Week. and I want to take this opportunity to thank teachers and all of our staff, because I'm a firm believer that everyone who comes in contact with children teaches them something, because they're gonna learn from what they see and what they hear. And I thank you all for your efforts, and the board for supporting what goes on in the classroom. I know wherever I speak, I'm a retired teacher and administrator, and I know how hard the staff works to get their results, and really appreciate that. I welcome this opportunity to thank them for what they do every day, and I know in the evening and all summer long. And I thank the school board for supporting our excellent staffs. Being a former elementary teacher, I brought a show and tell, and most of you know that the U.S. News and World Report rates various agencies every year, hospitals and others, and especially schools and colleges, and a lot of people get tuned into that edition when it comes out. So for 2025, the U.S. News, as they do every year, rated schools, even down to elementary schools, on their effectiveness. And they rated the Brownfield Denmark Elementary, I brought a show and tell here. They rated the Brownfield Denmark Elementary School as number 4 in the state of Maine, which is pretty remarkable for a little school. With 95% of their students testing at or above the proficiency level in math, and also 95% at or above the proficiency level in reading. So I congratulate them and celebrate them. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Joe Manning. I'm head of school at Freiburg Academy, also a parent of 4 students in the district. Thank you for giving us some time to speak tonight. I'm actually here to speak tonight on one of the agenda items under new business, where you're going to consider the FY26 budget. I'm here to implore the school board to consider amending that budget higher. The proposed budget will inflict damaging cuts on the K-8 instructional program, especially at the 6 to 8 level, where 3 positions are being eliminated. Really, the budget that's been put forward, and I appreciate the work of the school board and the administration. I know the initial budget was higher than they felt they could put forward, but I feel this new budget has taken too big of a cut. I would say the cuts not only cut into the meat, but are cutting into the bone. Really, is only a 2.1% budget increase for the district. Most of that increase is in fact going to Freiburg Academy. Our tuition is set by law, governed by law. We do have a 5% increase, 5.6% increase in tuition this year. That's set by the state. We have no control over it. When we have more students, you pay for more students. When we have fewer students, you pay for fewer students. That's all set by law. I'll continue to remind people Freiburg's a great value. We're not the budget problem. Still, the cost per pupil for the taxpayer in this district is lower at the high school level at Freiburg Academy than it is for both Lake Region and Kent High School. The other 2% on this budget increase of about 4% that you hear about tonight mostly goes to cover money that's being pulled back at the state level. So, and then other increases, which I know the district doesn't have a lot of control over in special ed, are being covered by pretty significant cuts in the K-8 program that I see very problematic. If you were to consider a budget, so rather than 4.6%, or one that was closer to the 5.6% or 6% that was the average increase in education across the state, you could probably restore most of the cuts that are being made to the middle school. I think these middle school cuts are going to cause a lot of problems for the students. They're going to result in larger class size. Everybody knows middle school kids are hard to control. It's going to have more problematic behavior. It's going to be harder for the staff. It's going to be harder to prepare the kids for high school. It's going to leave the principal, who's also acting as the AD, the dean, the substitute, really undermanned to do the job well. Combining social studies and English, I feel, is going to be another challenge for the teachers. It's going to be hard for them to educate the students effectively. If this budget's passed, at the level the students will come to FA at a disadvantage. I'd like to thank you all for your time. I hope you do the right thing for our students, not just for my own kids, but for the future Freiburg Academy students. I believe the taxpayers in this town are very supportive of education. They always have been. This proposed budget actually gives a tax cut to the nice people of Lovell. I don't think the people of Lovell, I know some of them might need the tax cut, but they usually are very supportive of education. I'm asking you to consider a number, not all the way back to where you were, but I think the cuts have just gone too deep, and look for that 1% more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Community.
Hi there, I'm Sonia Harding from Denmark. Biology is not debatable. Boys and girls are different, mentally and physically. With regard to sports and keeping girls safe, these physical differences matter. It comes to no surprise to any of us in this room that males are taller and way more than females. Males have denser, stronger bones, tendons, and ligaments. They have more muscle, more massive skeletons, larger rib cage, more lung capacity, all of which affects athletics. Numerous studies show female strength on average to be 40 to 60% of male strength. And this is why Fairness First is advocating for our district to keep biological boys out of girls' sports. It is a matter of safety. We are constantly told by our school district leaders that the school board is obligated to follow state law and not the executive order. This is a magnitude and not 100% accurate. The Hodgson School Board in MSAD 70 voted this month to revert back to the 1972 version of Title IX, which states that only biological males and females will be allowed to participate in their respective sports. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has openly stated MSAD 70 will receive funding because of their bold vote. This is excellent news, and we hope that it has a ripple effect, giving other school boards and parents across Maine to push to do the same. We ask you to re-vote, to remove Title IX and make it like it was 1972.
Good evening, my name is Joan McCain. I'm a parent of 2 students in this district, one who's a middle schooler and one who's a high schooler. I came tonight to express my appreciation to this board and to the amazing, dedicated educators and staff in our district. I wasn't able to make last month's meeting, but I wanted to thank the members who voted to keep our DEI policy and the policies that help foster a welcoming and safe school environment for all our students, including our trans students. I know that it's possible for our district to comply with both Title IX and the Maine Human Rights Act. Both the Maine Attorney General's Office and the Maine Department of Education have confirmed this. I'm proud that our district is complying with these laws rather than caving to fear and disinformation. I also want to thank the board for the immense time and energy that you have all spent putting together this year's budget. I imagine it's a challenging and thankless task, but I also know that it's a backbone of all the essential work being done in our schools. Our teachers, support staff, and bus drivers are going above and beyond to support our students. The least we can do is to have their backs in return to make sure that they get paid for their hard work by voting for the district budget. Thank you for your time and for your dedication to our children.
Good evening, I'm Trish Grinnell from Denmark. Going along with Title IX, it's not so much transgendered in sports. Let's get that out in the open right now. The wording is gender identity. The minute you give any person the ability to say, I believe or I think I am, you just opened up a whole new can of worms. We don't have an issue with transgendered people at all. You are allowing the wording to any male out there to interfere with anything a female has worked so hard to accomplish. And if you study the Maine Human Rights Act, it's already been proven it contradicts itself in terms. You cannot state you're going to protect sex, gender, and gender identity. They conflict. It's a moot law. You guys have the opportunity to reconsider that with your policies and do the same as School District 70 did. Now, along some of the other lines, a lot of parents have come to me with complaining about, one, why don't you guys record your meetings anymore? People that can't always make it because of their work schedules, they don't know what's going on here. You guys don't use your mics, we can't hear you even when we're in the other gym. And as far as board members in general, you all have to abide by certain rules and regulations for your job. And I'm not calling anybody out, and I'm not making a complaint to go against your rules, but I am going to remind you all that one of your members broke one of those laws. And if the timing was different, I would have them removed legally from the board. You cannot go to a public meeting and tell other board members they are not allowed to speak, don't say anything, sit down. It is your job as board members to interact with the public. That means all of us, whether you like what we have to say or not. We will be respectful of you if you're respectful of us. But it is your job to listen to us, answer our questions, and find us answers. We're not out here to cause problems. We're trying to work in conjunction with you guys to come up with a mutual agreement. There's so many things floating around Facebook and the community right now with all these bogus comments and allegations. Maybe you should come to the people and ask them, what do you plan on doing? What are your ideas? Can we work on common ground? That has yet to happen. I have not had anybody from the opposite opposing team come to me personally and ask about this. It would be nice, but they'd rather sit behind a keyboard and be keyboard warriors and then call people on the telephone, harass them online. Be adults, people. That's all I can say, be adults. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Chris. I'm a resident of Lovell, and I'm also a dad to a kiddo in the district. I'm here tonight, like many of you, I just want to see our kids supported, challenged, and cared for. This week, my kiddo's really excited for Timberneck. Those of you who don't know, it's this amazing outdoor program. It helps them spend time in nature. They're building, exploring, working together, and problem solving in ways that you just can't always do inside of a classroom. A lot of this is self-directed by them, with just kind of bumpers by the teachers that are supervising, but it's really student-led, which is amazing. It's muddy, it's wet, it exhausts them, which is kind of nice when we get home, and it's really magical for them. They're not just playing though, they're learning how to communicate with each other, how to cooperate, how to take creative risks. And it's something students across the board all look forward to. It's exactly the kind of opportunity that our school budget makes possible. Now, we're all kind of aware that there are some people who want to use the budget's passing as a way to push back on certain school policies. But it should be made really clear, the budget and the district policies are two different things. Voting for the budget doesn't change or endorse any particular policy. It simply ensures that our kids continue to have access to the programs, teachers, and resources they need to learn and grow. When we vote yes on the budget, we're saying yes to Timberneck. Yes to music, art, and science. Yes to reading support, school counselors, and after-school clubs. These are the things that help shape well-rounded, confident students. And they're not political. They're just good education. So let's not take those things away from our students to make a point. Let's keep investing in what's working. Let's keep showing our kids that their growth, their joy, and their learning matters to us. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Emily Staller. I am in Freiburg. I want to speak to a tiny item on the budget, which is the 8th grade gifted and talented math program. It affects a small number of students, but it allows those students to travel to Freiburg Academy to access higher level math. I know that resources are strapped here. Sounds like the budget would make them even more strapped, and so allowing those few kids to go across the street to have access to that program, I think it's a great opportunity for them and a great way that we can collaborate as schools to provide the best opportunity for our students. As an educator, I want to say that in my 18 years as an educator, a student's sex and gender identity has never, ever impacted my ability to deliver high quality education to them in the classroom and on the sports field. It has never impacted my ability to deliver high quality education to their peers in the room who are cisgender. So we have been convinced by the national conversation that trans students are some kind of problem in our community. They're not. The problem is making sure the amazing educators in this district have access to the resources they need to educate our children. It's not about trans kids. Trans kids belong here. I value them in my classroom. They're an incredible part of our community. They're not a problem. They're the children that we're trying to reach. We've got to reach all the kids. So let's vote on a budget that makes sure our teachers have everything they need, because they're awesome and they do great work. Thank you, teachers.
Hi, I'm Kim DeVries, and I'm here in Freiburg. I have two kids who went to the academy and are about to graduate from UMaine or no, this coming weekend. And the reason that they were able to go to college and do so well, and they did do really well, the reason for that is because of the great support that they got here in Freiburg in school. The teachers at every level, at every school, work really hard with every grade level to make sure the kids are ready to move on to their next level, to their next challenge. And my girls, when they were at the academy, made tremendous friends. They got to know all of the kids who had come up from Malayaket, and the experiences they all then shared together really put them on the path to success. And regarding the budget process, I know that's a difficult process. It involves lots of extra meetings for the board members. It involves tons of work for teachers and for the superintendent to put together the budget. And so I want to thank you all for doing that. Because without that work, all of the instruction that goes on throughout the district would not be possible. All of that instruction which is preparing our kids so well to continue into their future educational pathway. And regarding some of the concerns expressed here tonight, I think they're unfounded. None of the concerns that I have heard expressed connect to any actual events or problems I have ever heard about on any level in the district. And I think that if people have specific concerns, they can ask how something is handled, because there have been policies in place for years to make sure that all students are protected, that all students are able to take full advantage of their educational opportunities here, and that no students are treated unfairly in any manner. So again, I want to thank you all for your work that makes that possible.
I think we have time for one more comment before we get into our meeting.
I'm Quentin. I live in a residence cell. So I'm a student at Freiburg Academy. I'm a sports player at Freiburg Academy. I play on the unisex team, and I've had incredible struggles keeping up with the girls on the team. I am a man. I should be the one, according to you guys, I should be the one who can't keep up with them. They are incredible at playing sports. They can throw the frisbee farther than I can. They can run faster than I can. They have more stamina than I do. And I am a man. I am not trans. So this problem of these people are coming in and taking away records, they're not. I I can't keep up with them. Furthermore, these sports are about having fun. These sports are about learning in school. These are not about winning all these new records and getting all of these great achievements, which if you want to do that, I would argue, outside of school. School is a learning environment, and so these sports should be for everyone to learn, no matter of what your gender is, what your sexual identity is, because that does not impact your ability to play sports. I would also like to add, again, I am a kid, and I feel that if you guys want to be removing policies, you should talk to the children at the schools, not the adults, and taking just their opinions. There should be people going out there and asking the children at these schools if they still support these policies, because most of us do. Most of us want to keep our rights. Most of us don't want the rights of our friends or of ourselves taken away by adults in our lives. Because this is 2025. This is not 1972. We should be loving and respecting everyone in our community and helping them achieve everything that they can and having fun and learning in school. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I know it takes a lot of courage to stand up and speak in front of so many people. That concludes our public comment portion of the meeting, and we will move on to our second agenda item, approval of minutes from April 9th,